Hi there, welcome to my channel Maths SL. I'm speaking Thaqib Latif. This is the question number 6. The question says in the diagram the function of f of x is equal to cos x negative 60 degree and g of x is equal to sine ax are given for x lies between negative 120 degree till positive 120 degree. So these are the graph of f of x and g of x. 6.1. Write down the period of g. This is our first of all you need to recognize here, analyze the graph of g of x. So this is g of x. This is the g of x graph. Now the period of g of x is the length of one complete cycle. So if you look at positive way, so start from 0, you can see. So go up and then cut the x-intercept, second turning point, and go back again to 120. So it complete the cycle 120 degree. If you look at negative way, it's same thing. Look at this way, negative 120 start, up, again, down second turning point, and go back to 0. So the period is the length of one complete cycle period is 120 degree. So my answer gonna be a 120 degree. 120 degree. That's my answer. 6.2. Determine the value of a. Relate the period to the value of a. So for a function of the form g of x is equal to sine ax, the period is given by 360 degree over a. So determine the value of a. Relate the period to the value of a. For a function of the form g of x is equal to sine ax, the period is given by 360 degree over a. Remember we used to find the period, so it's gonna be a 300. If you need to find the period, we always say 360 over k. We use the k, but this time he using the a, so we say 360 degree over a. But now the period already has been given, so the period is 120. We found the period of g of x to be 120 degree. So the 120 degree is equal to 360 degree over a. So the cross multiply is going to be a 120 degree a is equal to 360 degree. Now you both side to find the a, both side you divide by 120 degree. It's gonna be 360 degree divided by 120 degree. The answer gonna be a 3. So your a is 3. So the value of a is 3. Must remember, since the graph shows a standard sine wave, uh, not reflected horizontally, so you can see a standard wave. So is a positive wave. So a is a positive. So the answer gonna be a is equal to positive. So a is gonna be equal to positive 3. 6.3. Write down the range of f of x negative 1. There's two ways to solve this question. The first way is this one, that this is your f of x cos graph, and the cos graph must remember is a cos x negative 60 degree. So this is a normal cos graph. So the normal cos graph, the range is between negative 1 and positive 1. So this graph, so the 1 unit shift down, the entire graph shift down by 1 unit. So you have to subtract now 1 from the range. So if you shift down, so this is 1 minus 1 becomes 0 here. And negative 1 minus 1 become negative 2. So the new range gonna be negative 2 and 0. Or you can also use the formula. I'll show you both way. So must remember the first method, you have to subtract 1 from f of x. Why? Because the entire graph shift down by 1 unit. So the normal range of the graph is negative 1 and positive 1. Now, so 1 unit shift down, so minus 1. 1 minus 1 is going to be 0. And minus 1 become negative 2. So between negative 2 and 0, that is the new range of the graph. That's the first method. You can use the interval notation or the set notation. Set notation is going to be you're going to say between negative 2 and till the 0. And this, if you want to use the interval notation, you say, or you can say y is a real number and negative 2 till 0, both is included. This is set notation, this is interval notation. Now the second method is this one. You got the a here 1, must remember amplitude is positive 1 and the q value is going to be negative 1. Now this is q, vertical shift. Now so you can say the q minus a till q plus a, that will be your range, right? So this will be your range. So the q we have now negative 1 and the amplitude we got 1. So the negative 1 and negative 1, and this side q you got negative 1 and amplitude one time add, one time subtract, so plus 1. Now this is going to be a negative 2 and this is going to be a 0. So this is your final answer for the range, negative 2 and 0. Y is y belongs to y lies between negative 2 and 0. So this is your final answer. 6.4. If h is obtained by shifting f 30 degree to the right and reflecting it in the x-axis, write down the equation of h in its simplest form. So he's talking about the f of x, which we have now. F of x is cos x minus 60 degree. So which mean 30 degree to the right. So it to the right mean minus. You have to write x is a liar. So which mean minus 30 degree. So it's gonna be a x minus 60 degree minus 30 degree. And then reflect on horizontal. So which mean this is the reflection of horizontal. So which mean I'm gonna change the positive cos x become negative cos x. When you reflect in the x-axis horizontal, then you change the y value. So obviously this positive cos is going to be a negative cos. So our equation going to be now h of x, because he say the new graph, the new equation, that new equation going to be a h of x. So the new equation h of x going to be is equal to, now the graph positive become negative because horizontal in the x-axis reflecting the x-axis cos, and then x negative 60 degree, which we already have now, uh, shift to the shift 30 degree to the right, so minus 30 degree. So now I'm going to simplify. This is going to be negative cos and this become x minus 90 degree. Now I can further solve here because I can use the co-ratio. So x negative 90 degree is gonna be a sine x. So it's gonna be a negative sine x because cos gonna change to sine. So this is my final answer. 6.5. For which values of x will first derivative of f of x multiply f of x greater than 0 mean positive. Now this type of question is you need to remember very carefully. I need to show you here that so first derivative and f of x, there must be answer must be a positive. So if this is negative, answer gonna be a positive. If this is positive, answer gonna be a positive. Now we need to look where is first derivative is negative and f of x is negative. So first we start from this. So you have to visualize the graph here. So this is first derivative, which means where is f is increasing, that is your first derivative. From here f is increasing left to right, increase till here, and then from there start decreasing. So which means your this all the way increasing, that your first derivative, that is a positive. Now uh, where is f is positive now, because uh, the f is going to be a positive above the x-axis. From here till all the way till here f is positive. And now we need to give the answer. First we need to see where is uh, negative be positive or positive negative. So we looking now, first of all, the f is negative here and the first derivative positive. I can't take this one because negative and positive gonna be negative. This is out. Now we move up, so above the x-axis. So now from here the first derivative still positive till here by the turning point, and the graph as well positive. So which means I can take this. So between negative 30 and 60, the first derivative is positive and the f is as well positive. So that's my answer, because from here the first derivative is negative but the graph is still positive, but I can't take that because positive and negative is going to be negative. So my answer is going to be between negative 30 and 60. So there is first derivative. I'm going to highlight here. This is the first derivative increasing till here. Till here. This is the first derivative is increasing, which means it's a positive. Now we can compare. So above the x-axis, the f is positive, and as well first derivative is positive, you can see. So between negative 30 and 60, that's my final answer, because between negative 30 and 60, first derivative is positive and the f is as well positive. Positive times positive gonna be positive. So my answer is negative 30, between negative 30 and positive 60. That's my answer. Must remember here the turning point is gonna be now 60 degree, x value 60 degree, and the y value gonna be 1. Must remember the range is maximum is positive 1 and the minimum is negative 1. That's the range of the cos graph. Now the graph shift 60 degree to the right. So now, which mean our graph gonna start now. X gonna be 60 and the y value gonna be 1. Normal graph, a cos start, x is 0, y value 1. But now the graph shifts 60 degree to the right, so the x value gonna be 60 and y value 1. So the starting point gonna start is gonna be at x equal to 60 degree. So it's gonna be a 60 degree x value, y value 1. So this x equal to 60 degree, that is the turning point and starting point, but it's gonna turn to turning point if the graph is gonna uh, spread to the left hand side and right hand side. So remember they didn't give this full graph, so that's why So the graph is increase by the 60 degree, and then the graph start decreasing. I'll show you this concept in more detail. Let me explain to you this one in more detail, but you understand why we say uh, x value is 60 degree, because this graph is increase. uh, that's our first derivative till 60 degree. So the black one is the normal cos graph, and the second one what we have, the red color one, that is y is equal to cos x negative 60 degree. So the p value is a positive 60 degree. You must remember x is a liar. So now this is a horizontal shift. Now the graph, you can see the normal graph, if you look, is start by at 0 and 1, x value 0, y value 1. If you look at the positive x-axis side, the graph is complete the period 360 degree, complete the cycle, and on left hand side as well you can see negative 360 degree. Now, so if you look the graph which is we have now, uh, graph move 60 degree to the right. So now we're gonna start at x equal to 60 degree. So the starting point gonna be no more 0 and 1. It's gonna be a 60 degree x value and y value 1. And you can see that's the difference between the normal and the graph which is shift to the right hand side. Now that's why you can see now our turning point is now x value 60 degree, x value is 60 degree, and y value is 1. Now you can see the graph is repeating. Can you see this become turning point now? And as you go down, and then this is a second turning point, 180 degree, and uh, y value is negative 1, so on. And this you can look at the left hand side as well. After the 360 degree, the graph start repeating. Now, so that's the logic, that the 60 degree, x value 60 degree, y value 1. So so the start at x equal to 60 degree and y value 1, and that's a turning point now, you, because the graph is uh, repeating its shape. So after the 360 degree, so that's why we say uh, at x equal to 60 degree and y value 1. Now you can see why I said at x equal to 60 degree, y value 1, and this is your turning point. The graph is increasing, which means first derivative is positive. From here start decreasing, the first derivative is a negative. So the second method is you can find the turning point also this way, because y is equal to cos x minus 60 degree. This is our equation. Now the maximum is uh, positive 1. Remember, we need to find the by the positive section. So y value, because the range is between negative 1, the range of the graph is between negative 1 and positive 1 for the normal graph. Remember this one, that's the range. Now, so obviously we're looking at this one now, the positive section. So y value 1, the cos x minus 60 degree. So I swap around now, x minus 60 degree, that's going to be cos inverse 1. Use the calculator. So the cos inverse 1 going to be equal to 0. So x is negative 60 degree equal to 0. Therefore x value negative 60 degree. When I move this side become a positive 60 degree. So the x value is 60 degree. So which means x is 60 degree and the y value is 1. There we go. This is second method to find the turning point. So therefore the answer will be negative 30, between negative 30 degree till the positive 60 degree. So that's my final answer.